Well, it all began in about 10 years ago. And my sister-in-law was buying a house from Janet Martin's brother. Janet Martin is one of the Lutheran ladies who writes the books. They write a book a year about their experiences growing up in rural Minnesota, rural North Dakota, their experiences with the Lutheran church that they went to. And we had been doing shows in Minneapolis about living in Minnesota, How to Talk Minnesotan, the musical. We adapted that. And we decided, let's go for it. And in '05, we wrote the show and the music. Drew Jansen did the music. And we took it on a little trip to Grand Rapids, Minnesota. Then we took it back to Minneapolis and worked on it. Then we took it to Bismarck, North Dakota, and back to Minneapolis, and to Fargo, North Dakota. And we realized by the time we got to Fargo that we had created in Fargo the only traffic jams downtown Fargo had ever had, because when they were totally sold out, and it was crazy. The audiences went nuts. Everybody gets it. That's the other part that is weird. It's not a Midwest thing, it's an every place thing. People help people, people have a great time with people, and people serve in many ways in all parts of the country. Upstate New York, biggest show they've ever had. Southern California, biggest show they've ever had. Everywhere we go, we've done 5 tours of this now, and they pack them in everywhere, every part of the country. So I think it's like Fiddler on the Roof. It's a story that's universal. It just happens to be Jewish. This happens to be Lutheran, Scandinavian Lutheran. Get beyond that and enjoy the story. And probably because we're celebrating a group of people, a gigantic group of people who are rather underappreciated in our culture for all that they do for their churches and for their synagogues and for their Masonic temples or whatever. There's always the women who work in the kitchen. People just thought, I know those people, I know them, that's my mom, that's my aunt. And people would come out and tell us that every performance, that just reminded them of their lives. And I think that was the connection. That's the ultimate connection, that we are connecting with their lives. They see themselves on stage, and people love to see themselves on stage. This is Church Basement Ladies Part 2, a second helping, the sequel to Church Basement Ladies. And you really don't have to have seen Church Basement Ladies to have a good time at this show, because it does take up where we left off, but the adventures and the craziness just continue. It's like the Lucy Show. You know, you didn't need to see the first episode to enjoy the Lucy Show. So please come see it, because you'll have a great time even if you didn't see it the first time.